And the pump machine will be a Pushmeister P715. This is a piston machine or similar with a big paddle mixer. Another option will be to use two normal pump machines, Pushmeister S5 or similar, okay, and two paddle mixer on the top. But we can provide the material in pit bags and also in 25 kilowatts. Will be your approach in this kind of installation. Which kind of problems or typical problems in this installation, Mr. Tu, is that be careful with the concrete. We need to dry the to wet the concrete 24 hours before and until the grouting procedure. Until the grouting procedure, we need to remove this water. If we don't put water in this area, the concrete will absorb all the water of the growth, and you can have a lot of cracks here in this area.
So, sorry, Eugenio. Sorry, because okay. With wet the concrete 24 hours before grouting, in Vietnam we have put water with ice to foundation and remove before grouting 2 hours and after that we can grout. Okay.
It is right. Yeah, you can put water with ice inside.
Yeah.
And 2 hours before to do the grouting, you can remove.
Yeah.
Even my last time in Thailand, we need to install a tent around the foundation too, just to introduce inside air conditions and also fans, just to decrease the temperature from 45 degrees into 35, 30 degrees. Most probably in Vietnam, you need to use the same approach, but I will provide you and also Mr. Tu what is the necessary installation to work in this kind of extreme condition, more than 35 degrees.
More than 55 degrees, yeah.
No, nighttime only 25 this year.
25 this year, huh?
Nighttime.
Very good.
Because we work now in Vietnam only nighttime. Nighttime 30 degrees. We cannot work.
Okay.
Okay.
So the next design is the above plane. As I said before, here is necessary to install a formwork. Okay, this is the flange and this is the formwork. Be careful also with the surface. As you said, 24 hours before water and 2 hours or 1 hour before grouting, you need to remove. Also, you need to explain all your applicators that they need to be careful with the slips, plastics on the ball. Okay, all the balls needs to be covered with this plastic because if not, you can have cracks. Okay? The typical problems in this installation is also two different layers. Be careful with this. Also cracks because the concrete, if you remember, our recommendation is that the concrete has more than 28 days. The typical indication or recommendation from the wind turbine supplier is 18 days. Okay? It's not bad. It's much better than 10 days because the concrete with less than 15 days, you can have cracks in the concrete and these cracks goes to the growth. Be careful with this. And the last design is the Enercon and GE design is something in between because it's not so deep, the trench, but it's not necessary to install a formwork. In this case, the approach from the applicator is that he can use a big paddle mixer with a Pushmaster piston machine, or two small pack mixer and also two small paddle mixer. This is not necessary today. And regarding concrete towers, it's just for your information, because normally it's not necessary to use an applicator in this kind of installation. But also we have some materials, some growths to apply in this concrete tower. Frequently we are applying in this kind of design, Acciona Nordes design. Here for the vertical joint and also for the horizontal joint. I don't know too if in Vietnam you will have some concrete or hybrid towers.
No. To now is the no concrete tower. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, we can go ahead directly to the training of the applicator, because here it's not necessary to explain material by material. Okay, so Mr. Tu, so as we said in the presentation, we can have three different designs, and you can and your approach depending on the design is different. Okay, you can use a heavy machinery or light machinery. Okay? I will provide you this table. Okay, and depending what is your project, you can find here what is the possible solution. Big bags and also big paddle mixer with the big pump mixer, or normal bags with normal machines. But depending on the design, you need to choose one of them. This is the checklist from our site. It's mandatory that please fill this list of per foundation. In this list, it's very easy, it's very simple. In 2 minutes, you can fill this paper, and it is the temperature of the flames, the temperature of the atmosphere temperature, the temperature of the concrete, how many bags you will use, what is the water demand, how many minutes to mix the material. So it's a key information for us, but it is mandatory. Do you have it too? Yes. I sent to you, no, time ago.
Yeah. Okay. Can we share with the applicator this file?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Checklist. So once we are in the wind farm, okay, we need to check that we have the necessary machinery and also the necessary material. Very important, Mr. Tu, that the growing must be continuous, okay, without any interruption. Okay. Before, once we have defined what is the design, we need to choose which kind of machinery we need to use. Then, it's very, very important the preparation of the surface. We need to know which kind of weather condition we will have in the wind farm. 24 hours before and 72 hours after growing is very important to keep the temperature in between 2 and 35 degrees.
Yeah.
If necessary, we can introduce inside of this tent refrigeration, or a system, or heaters inside of the foundation. Most probably, we need to use air condition depending on the temperature. All the elements involved in the installation, growth, material, steel tower, must have controlled in the temperature, okay? The material needs to be storage minimum at 10 degrees in a warehouse. The machinery needs to be covered if you are working in very warm temperatures. So you need to adapt the situation to apply the material in this range.
Yeah.
So when you arrive to the foundation, first of all, your workers needs to check the foundation. So first question, what is the age of the concrete? If you remember, the master builder recommendation is more than 28 days. It's impossible to have these 28 days, and most probably they said 18 days. Okay, we can go ahead, but with less than 18 days, any crack that you have here in the concrete, if you apply the material, you also have the crack here in the grout. Please check also the slips on the bolt. Please put water 24 hours before and remove the water before the grouting. Or if necessary to install the formwork, the formwork must be steel. It's not possible to use aluminum, for example. This is the formwork outside. When it's necessary to install, always steel, no aluminum. Concrete, 28 days, whenever possible. You need to check all the material and equipment around the foundation. If you have enough water, if you have enough material. Normally, you need to send to the foundation 20% plus material, just in case, because never the calculation is correct. If they said 2 tons, most probably is 2.3, 2.4. Be careful with this. The recommendation to pump the material is to apply the material in only one direction. That's why here in the picture you can see the temporary formwork. Because in this case the applicator is applying the material in this direction. Why in only one direction? It is because you can have more control about the level of the growth in front of the flames. And for all the workers involved in the installation, they can see what is the growing behavior much better. If we apply the material without this formwork, you never know what happened with the level, you never know what is happening with the behavior of the material. That's why in only one direction. Mandatory, blending the hose is necessary to lubricate the hoses, and not only with water, whenever possible, also with very porous cement. This is the key point of your installation, the first and the second mixing. If you finally go with Putzmeister S5, that is the normal Putzmeister, first of all, you need to introduce in the paddle mixer 2 sacks, followed by 3 of water. So allow to mix for a few seconds and pour the 3rd sack and remaining water and the 4th sack. Now you have 100 kilos mixing at the same time in the paddle mixer. Next step. To check the flowability of the material. In Vietnam too, you are using cubes, prims, or cylinders? Cubes?
Prims.
Prims?
Yeah.
Prims like this 4-4-16. So before to apply the material, you need to check the quality, or you need to do the quality control of the material. That's it. The spray flow test with this small cone, but also you can use the flow channel or the Habrans cone. We can provide all the tests with this material. And also we can provide the compressive strength at different days and at different temperatures with these prims, cubes, and also cylinders. Curing the growth. If you remember, once we have mixing the material. Always the material needs to be mixed by in between 5 and 7 minutes. In all the bags, you can see the recommendation about the water demand and also the mixing time. It's not a problem. Also in the big bags. If you have only one team or one pan machine, start in this point and go through the foundation of in other direction. If you can have in the foundation 2 different teams, this means 2 different pan machines, you can pan in this direction and also in this other direction. Okay. Please, it's never alter the direction when the growth is poured, and the movement needs to be very, very small movement, only 1 meter. Once the material achieves the level of the flange, you can move the material. Okay? This is the temporary formwork also that you can use. Curing. Normally, I don't know what is normally used in Vietnam, but I always use water. But also the applicator can use master cure, okay, one of our curing material. This is the important slide when you are working with more than 35 degrees. As you can see here, this is in Philippines, and also this is in Thailand. And these pictures in the bottom is the recommendation of Siemens Gamesa. What happened? It's 2 different approaches, because here, as you can see, this is a Vestas installation. And in Vestas installation, you already have the T1 already installed. So you need to install the tent around the foundation, around the tower, sorry. Here is a typical installation of Siemens Gamesa. They never had installed the T1, so it's more easy to install the tent around the foundation, as you can see here. Okay? But important, to install the tent, it is necessary like this in the Vestas installation or like this in Siemens Gamesa installation. Okay. 48 hours before grouting, you need to cover the pedestal area with a tent around the tower. The outside of the foundation should be installed within plastic, okay? And because sometimes inside of the tower here, the temperature could be more than 30 degrees, we recommend, whenever possible, inside of the tower to install air condition. Okay? 24 hours in advance, use cold water, less than 20 degrees, and to spray a moist in the pedestal and flame sulfate constantly. Okay? And the foundation should to be filled with water 24 hours prior. It's very, very important, because if not, the concrete will be very, very dry.
Yeah.
So the material storage, whenever possible, the material needs to be in a warehouse. The mixing water, you can add, very important, you can add ice in the mixing water, but never inside of the paddle mixer. Okay? This is the possible problem.
Sorry, Agunio, I have a question. When we delivery ground to customer, they stock in warehouse, and before grouting, they put in container, cool container, around 2 to 4 hours, and when temperature less than 15 degree, we grouting. It is okay. Okay. Yeah.
This is fantastic.
Yeah.
Whenever possible, you need to store the material in this warehouse. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Grouting. Also, when with more than 35 degrees outside, the recommendation will be to apply the material very early in the morning or at the end of the day, in the night. Whenever possible, much better in the night. Why? Because the material can be will cure in the dark, in 8 hours dark, okay? During the night. So if you apply the material very early in the morning, the curing time will be around during the day. So this means with the sunlight, okay? Whenever possible in the night. The curing until 72 hours after curing, please keep everything protected, okay?
Yeah.
And also with the air condition inside of the canopy. Very important, 24 hours before, 72 hours after. It's the same approach when you have this kind of temperature, less than 2 degrees. The approach is the same because you need to install the tent around. But instead to use air condition, you need to apply heaters inside. Okay. To finalize the growing, it's necessary to apply a waterproofing material. In Vestas, the recommendation is Master Seal 550. Okay, but whenever possible, and I don't know if you have this material in Vietnam, it's much better Master Seal 6100. Why? Because this is a one component, and this is two components.
Yeah.
For the applicator, it's better to use only a material with one component. Questions?
Master Seal 6100 is very expensive, more than Master Seal 550.
Yep. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So remember, Mr. Tu, mixing time in between 5 and 7 minutes. Very important.
Okay.
24 hours before and 72 hours after the growing. You need to keep the temperature in between 2 and 35 degrees.
Yeah.
Different approach. We can go back. Different approach. Depending on the design that you have in the wind farm and machineries. And the quality documents. This is one of them because this is the checklist. And also this is free flow test of flow channel. If you remember here.
Sorry, Eugenio. What is good channel? A good flow channel.
Normally we always use this free flow. Is following the ACTM. Okay?
I know.
The flow channel is typically used in Germany, okay? But it's more problematic in the wind farm. And the Habrans cone, the problem is that you need to fill the cone with a lot of material. Okay? With this small cone, it's only a yard, 1 yard. No, it's not necessary to use a lot of material here.
Yeah.
Now I can put you a video of the practical training and also an application in a real wind farm. Okay?
Yeah. Eugenio, because Vietnam is a COVID pandemic, I don't go to Ho Chi Minh City and training practical to Mr. Thọ. You can give me some video and I think after Tết holiday I will go to Nam Trung Sơn applicator and practice with them.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah. Okay.
So the first video is a video of the training done in Russia.
Yeah.
Can you see the video?
Okay, I can see.
Okay. So here is one of my trainings in Russia.
Yeah.
As you can see here is the Master Flow Natation 200. First of all, we are checking the temperature of the material. Okay.
How many
Very
how many number of bed we can prepare? Can we prepare?
One moment. Here in Russia, we have 200 tons. Okay, but for the test, maybe it's necessary only 4 bags.
4 batch. Okay. Okay.
Checking the temperature of the material.
Yeah.
Behind of me is the Puzzmeister S5. Here you can see the hopper and here the paddle mixer.
Yeah, we have a full necessary. Okay. Temperature machine. In Vietnam, around 20 temperature of around 26 degree.
It's very good temperature. This day in Russia, we have something similar.
Yeah,
It's normal.
temperature of ice water around 6 to 7 degree. Yeah.
No.
So also
Yeah, after mixing.
now we are checking the temperature of the growth inside. Very important.
Yeah. After mixing.
Now is the quality control, the split flow test.
Flow test.
Some recommendation for this test.
I think
this platform needs to be a metal or plastic.
Okay.
Never wood.
Okay.
So then you need to wet the surface
Yeah.
with a few water.
280 or 90.
So
Cái này lúc trước mình làm ở nhiệt độ thời tiết ở dưới đó 30 độ á, Tú.
Yeah.
Nên nhiệt độ môi trường nó có thể ảnh hưởng ấy.
Đồng ý.
Còn cái 20 mấy độ là ok, có thể chảy ra nhiều hơn.
Yeah. Ngay đó nhiệt độ. Temperature of after mixing
28 degrees.
28.
So
The same Vietnam.
this is a very good temperature. Yeah, but be careful. This is the temperature of the growth after mixing the growth. And the weather temperature in Russia at that time will be around 30 degrees. Okay.
Yeah.
Now we are checking the temperature of the growth.
Yeah.
And also checking what is the distance or the diameter of this circle.
Yeah. Put measure S5.
Put Mr. S5 in between 5 and 7 minutes, 2 liters. And now we are filling the mock-up.
Yeah.
This is the typical mock-up that we fill with the applicator, in the training of the applicators.
Anh Thọ chắc phải đóng một cái này anh Thọ ơi.
Very important. The hose in one point, just to check that the material...
What's the diameter of hole?
Oh, the hose?
Yeah.
1.5 inch.
2 inch.
1.5
1.5 inch. Yeah.
minimum.
Yeah.
And now with this plastic that we need to see if the adhesion of the material is 100% without any bubble.
Yeah.
So this area in the real situation will be the flange. So now we are checking if the material is filling all the holes behind the flange
Okay.
and the ring.
Yeah, okay.
And as you can see here, we are filling all the area. This is master flow Nefacen 200.
Yeah. I can see. $1.5 inch. Ống 30 anh Thọ ơi.
Hả?
Cái hole có 30 thôi.
Không. 2 inch mà sao 30?
1.5 inch. À, 40, ông 40. 40 centimeter. Oh.
Ông 40 với ông 50 có sẵn rồi.
40. 40.
So I will provide you this video too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And also this is another training, but in real wind farm, in real situation.
Yeah.
Tú hồi xin mấy cái photo, cái video này là hết nha Tú.
So here, can you see the video now when you are arriving to the wind farm?
Yeah, I can see. I go to.
So here is it. This is the wind farm of Siemens Gamesa.
Okay. Okay.
Now here the applicator is wetting all the surface around. If you remember, this is the above plane design because it's necessary to install a phone work. Okay? And the installation is the installation of Siemens Gamesa because it's only a flange. It's not installed at the T1. So then what happened with the video?
Big bet.
Now the team leader, okay, is taking care about the checklist. He is taking care about the temperature of the foundation, about the weather temperature, okay, and he is filling this document. You remember, it's very important, it's mandatory, and it's only 2 minutes. Okay?
Yeah, leader is very important.
Also remember that before to pure the growth or the growth inside of the paddle mixer, here this worker is mixing poured cement with water just to blend it or to lubricate the hose.
Yeah.
The approach of this applicator is to use 2 machines. Here the consume will was around 3-4 tons.
Can we use matter flow with water to blending hole?
No. Very expensive lubrication.
they has many more money.
Okay. No, but it's very expensive. So you can use whatever you want, but in my opinion, it's so expensive to use this master flow for lubricate.
Okay.
So here you can see what is the aspect of the surface. It's very, very wet. Okay.
Yeah.
Also, this is a recommendation. It's a cosmetic recommendation. If you can protect all the flames with this plastic, just to prevent some growth in this area, because if not, sometimes the investor asks you to remove all the growth in this flange, and it's very difficult to remove it. Okay, that's why, whenever possible, you need to install this plastic around. Quality is not good.
Okay, I can see.
Now, also the team leader is filling this checklist with the speed data and also the batch number.
Yeah, batch number.
Yeah. It's a very good idea. This is the number of the foundation, 13.
Yeah.
Here you can see the batch number and the speed data. So this material was produced in August 20, and the speed data is August 21. Okay.
$22.
Remember, sacks before to pure the water is the powder. 2 sacks. Then the water. The third sack, water. Okay? Maybe you think that it's stupid, but it is because, let me explain you.
Time.
Also, this is a very important, the time. And whenever possible, in front of. This is the aspect of the growth with less than 2 minutes. When you see this aspect, okay, you always want to put more water. Be careful, it's not necessary, because after 2-3 minutes,
I know.
they behave at the picture or the material is different. It's very flowable. Okay.
I know. Very know. In Vietnam,
check now you can check what is the difference in between before and now. Why we recommend in this kind of paddle mixers to put before the powder than the water? Because this is the door of the paddle mixer, and sometimes the rubber or this door is sometimes has some hole inside, and if you lose water, you are
correct.
Remember that our material, the water demand is very few. If we lose water from this point, the material is catastrophic. Okay? That's why our recommendation.
I has 1K, I know.
Now the 2 workers are lubricated the hose, and now he's checking when the growth-in is coming. This is normal cement. Okay. Now the growth is coming and they are recirculating the material. The idea is to have in the hopper more than 200 tons or 200 tons. 200 kilos.
I see not correct because the ground temperature of ground is 26 degree and water is 19 degree. So after mixing grouting, it's around 22 degree.
Yep. That's why you need to check all the temperatures, okay? The weather temperatures, the water temperatures.
Yeah.
And now he's doing the split flow test.
Yeah.
As you can see, the split flow test, the consistency of the material is good. Also, the flowability of the material is also good. Okay. So once we have checked this split flow, and if the split flow is okay, we can go ahead with the grouting.
Yeah. So one batch number needs one test. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. 310.
And now, because they are using two hoses, this hose goes to this direction, and this other worker will go to this other direction.
Yeah.
And this is the curing after curing the material. Very important to cover with a yacht style or plastics. Also, just to prevent cracks in the grout, you can pure water here in this area. Okay, as you can see here is water.
Yeah. You can see.
So, that's all from my side too.
Yeah.
Do you have questions? Okay, too. This is all from my side. Do you have any question? Or yeah, maybe not now, but if you have any question this week or in the following weeks, please let me know.
Yeah. Okay, Gabriel. I know, and thank you for share with me and with the other experience in your shy and your training, and I think you can give me and Mr. Thor's video and some checklist, and I and Mr. Thor will prepare mock up and ground to practice after test holiday, and
Okay.
and then send back to me video and on video when practice. Yeah.
I will send you all the videos, the technical data sheet of the Master Injet 3060, that the material to repair all the cracks. Okay, and the very interesting of the presentation is when you are working with more than 35 degrees.
Yeah.
What is necessary, the checklist also. Okay, that's all.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, so Mr. Tu, it was a pleasure. Thank you very much for attending the training, and above all, now in this difficult situation that is, it's not the same to have a meeting face to face.
Yeah.
That from Teams always is very difficult. And thank you very much for this hour with you. And good luck in Vietnam.
Em có question hả?
Okay. I don't know. Mr. Thọ has a question.
Tú hỏi thử trong quá trình bơm ra thì có ống mình di chuyển theo, lúc mà nó không chảy được thì mình có di chuyển theo hay không, hay để vị trí một ống một chỗ?
Hi Eugenio, when pouring ground, how is the mobile or stand one point?
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
When we pouring grouting,
Okay.
yeah, hose hose can mobile or
Yeah.
can yeah.
Yes. Let me explain in the presentation.
Yeah, okay.